Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Won't then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here with you guys.
Scotty Bono with you guys.
We are the Blood Brothers. And
The Rob.
oh
Yeah.
and
Carmelo Chimera.
the Rob's a little raspy.
That was a sexy
I
rasp.
apologize.
Sexy rasp.
Rob has sympathy COVID along with the president because he loves the Biden.
No, see, the president's dead.
That's right.
Oh, is that what happened?
He was a corpse for a while, right?
Yeah.
Is
I
the
mean,
COVID
I think he's
situation?
actually dead because he quit the election via Twitter. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't
so-
think there's any proof. We haven't seen.
That's
any
what
proof
dead
of
people
life.
do.
Yeah, we haven't seen any proof of life yet.
We haven't seen proof
And
of
now
life.
you're elbow deep in Kamala. If you look at Rob's screen,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
This refers to the elbow deep girl in this movie at the very end there, right?
yeah. I did see a post
Yeah.
that said, "When Joe finds out he quit, he's going to be so pissed."
Yeah.
My favorite was Biden 2028.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right.
Heavens.
Moving right along. Yes.
Let's feast upon this.
Feast. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy, Aaron Garcia. We're doing Feast. All for you.
I thought Freddie wanted this, or was this Aaron?
No, it was Aaron
Okay.
Garcia.
Aaron.
He came out to
All right.
Houston, watched our band play. Got to do Feast for him.
They're hungry. Your dinner.
Did
Also,
anyone else get aroused when she went elbow deep into the
Dude.
I mean,
that's what I thought Rob was referring to. I
didn't watch this movie.
Oh, shut up.
I got
Dude.
aroused whenever she was on camera. Honestly,
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah, she was very good to look at, definitely, in this movie.
Yeah.
this was an interesting. I had never seen this movie.
Never heard of this movie.
Heroin.
Yeah, I think I had barely heard of it. It sort of rang a bell, but very. I would think this is in your wheelhouse, Rob. I don't know what it's like. Gore. It's got a lot of blood.
I mean,
It's got some genitals squirting around.
Yeah,
I've
alien
just been-
genitals.
Been really, really busy, trying to promote our future president, Kamala Harris.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I've been, glued to Twitter.
Elbow
So-
deep.
Yep, elbow deep, some would say.
Yeah.
I just haven't had time to watch this.
Yes.
To feast your eyes upon this.
I hope you've also been busy preparing for my arrival. I'm gonna visit Rob because his mom said that her neighbor we could stay at her house for free. So I'm gonna be up in Rob's grill.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and next week.
You're
And we're gonna go. We're gonna go
elbow
to.
deep.
We're gonna go to Feast Pizza.
Oh, that is the
Speaking of
name of the
feast,
pizza
Yeah,
place.
we're gonna
Feast.
We're gonna go to Feast
Feast.
Pizza, which their pizza ovens broke down 2 weeks ago.
What?
Everybody online was screaming. They're back up and running. So
Oh,
it's
that better
gonna
not
be
happen.
thinking like, I can't wait to go to Feast Pizza
Better not happen. Have you even been there since the last
Nope.
time I was down there? Why?
because it's cheating. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you can't cheat on us. We all ate feast. Didn't we all ate feast?
No,
No, that was
I thought we
Feast,
all got
right?
Feast.
No,
one
we-
time. And Joey
We ordered
D's.
it, right?
Or was
Yeah.
that Joey D's that we all
Hey, Carmelo
ate?
was there too. We got Feast and Joey D's.
I think we
and
ate pizza 3 out of the 4 nights.
yeah.
Actually,
ate
no, there was
Feast-
one day where we ate pizza twice in one day.
I hope Carmelo doesn't go to Connie's when we're not there.
Yeah, are you cheating on us to
Well,
go
it
to
is my
Connie's?
favorite pizza in the city, so from time to time, I will indulge. But you know, it is more fun in a group.
We ate Joey D's and watched Ghost Encounters, right?
Yep. We
I
did.
don't. In fact,
Grave
Carmelo, I don't even think we brought
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
Grave Encounters. Sorry.
Grave Encounters. Oh, that was the best rental because we were out on a porch TV screened in and could have cigars while watching.
It was
horror movie.
awesome. It was one of the best movie going experiences.
Yes.
It was
we
great.
went charter fishing.
I know
And
that
Carmelo ate seafood gumbo at like 7:15 in the morning.
From a gas station.
Yeah, that was good.
The corner store,
that shit. That
you
was
got to
good.
you got to say like that's like gourmet food. The
That
corner
wasn't
store
one
is
of the
best.
better decisions I've made in my life, to be honest.
yes,
It was so good.
immediately stepping on a boat.
And then Carmelo, everybody caught a ton of fish.
Yes,
We
then we had to
good
throw
day.
back.
like 20 each. Jeez.
That we then had to throw back.
Yes, you don't keep snook.
But
I
the
wish
next
I wish we would have caught a redfish. Next time we're gonna. Well, last time me and you went, was it? Yeah, last time me and Danny went together, we kept all those snappers we caught. All those. All those
That's true.
mangroves.
I saw
We
that.
went
Danny
in
got
and-
he got towed into a shipping lane
It's true.
in Tampa Bay by a shark.
It was a good time.
You guys
Carmelo-
got to get Feast Pizza and watch Feast 2 Sloppy
I know.
Seconds.
I know that Carmelo's about to have a little human in his life any day now. But I was going to say you should come down. You should come down too if you get a chance. I'll be there for like 12 days.
When are you going?
Next Sunday and then for like 2 weeks basically.
So this coming Sunday,
this coming Sunday.
The
28th to the
28th.
10th.
Yes, 20
In like
through the
6
10th.
days.
There's no way. I appreciate the invite so much. I would any other time, heartbeat. I'd be there. Next year, same time, I'll be there. But
Heartbeat.
this year,
You mean you can't leave Christine immediately after she has a baby?
I
Dude.
cannot. It turns out that's poor form.
No, that would not be a good husbandly thing to do.
If only that she could have the baby as fast as this creature and Feast had their baby.
Oh god,
yeah,
dude.
seriously.
Yes.
Oh my
And
god.
then it could age fast enough for me to send it straight to college.
Yes, exactly.
So back to the movie. Yes, I felt it was in Rob's wheelhouse. There's plenty of gore and blood. There's creature genitals being cut off and thrown across the floor.
Yeah.
Very, I don't know, different camera movement. Very hectic, and that may be because of the budget, and they didn't want to. And that's how you hide some things, but maybe not. I don't know. It worked. I thought overall the movie was pretty good. Some of the acting was,
Terrible.
but it was pretty good. I thought they used Henry Rollins in a weird un-Henry Rollins way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a
I just
motivational
picture him more of
speaker,
a tough guy. Like he's just usually more of a tough
blasting
guy.
off heads and stuff.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what'd you guys think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was just a fun time. It had I'm not comparing, but they're boarding themselves inside the bar, almost like Ash is boarding himself in Evil Dead 2, and it had a little Tremors feel to it because they kind of looked like the ass blasters and Tremors, the creatures did, and I don't know, it kind of had a little Night of the Living Dead because he's boarding himself in there too. So I like that aspect of the isolation there. But yeah, some 2000 soundtrack, early 2000s. Not my favorite, but it was okay. And
Just
the
say you
acting,
hated
like
the
said,
soundtrack, Scotty.
The soundtrack
So
wasn't
nice.
great. I did not like the soundtrack.
Thank you.
But but I thought it was a fun time. It was a fun time. Gore and some good effects for sure.
Carmelo, what'd you think?
I'm surprised Rob didn't like it. I would have thought this was
You didn't
right
tell
up
us that
his alley.
yet.
I
See,
like
what I'm
it.
talking about. And this is
did-
why Donald Trump doesn't get a fair shake.
You didn't say you didn't
Everybody
like
just
it yet.
judges him, as a book by his cover.
You said repeatedly in this episode, in the 7 minutes and 39 seconds since we've been recording, that you didn't like it.
Well,
No. Well, people change.
Another reason Donald Trump doesn't get a fair shake is he lies 10 seconds after having said it.
They all lie. I'm pumping Kamala Harris for my fan fiction that I'm
there you go. Let's see
Well,
what
I like-
Carmelo thinks. And we'll see what Rob thinks.
I like Feast. I thought it was gory and fun. I like a good creature feature. I like cool monster designs.
Yeah.
I thought that. It wasn't my favorite. It may not be something I revisit, but it had that cabin in the woodsy vibe, but in a new context. If you've ever driven through the desert, hours and hours through the desert, you sort of get a sense of, hey man, before cars and air conditioning and bottled water, this was really hazardous to cross. And you felt it in this movie here that
It's
when the phones were
2006
down-
though. They had cars and air
yeah,
conditioning.
but
and-
once you take the phones out and they're stuck in that saloon and you're just surrounded by miles and miles of empty desert, they really could have been stuck there for days.
Yeah.
And with how few people would stop into that, you really get the sense that they may never have been rescued. It might have just become this death trap that people visit once a week and then get killed and go missing. And no one would ever quite figure out that there was this saloon where monsters lived. Like,
True enough.
it was really isolated, and I thought that was cool. Most of the acting is not great, but it was fun acting. The guy from 30
Totally.
Rock really needed to die way sooner. I liked watching his head get
Oh,
smashed.
totally.
Krista Allen is a treasure. She was in a lot of movies in the early 2000s, and
Who did she play?
remains a well active acting in my fantasies all the time. So she's a very active actress up there. But
She was Tuffy. She was the one who was elbow deep.
yeah, she's
the real tough one that went.
the single mother slash.
That went.
Oh, yeah.
Sally
Lucky.
Fields from Forrest
Heroin,
Gump. While
too.
her kid was in there watching, the Teletubbies.
She did.
She was the good looking
Wow,
one.
I've never heard anyone
Very good.
use Sally Fields' name in that way before, Rob. That was weird. All right, well, that's my thoughts. Rob, what do you got? Tell us the truth.
It was decent. Again, it's kind of like I agree with Carmelo because he didn't like it either. Because it's got no rewatchability. I don't think I would rewatch it again. It's on Prime. It's free. It's not a bad way to kill an hour and 30 minutes, but the acting is so terrible.
It was pretty bad.
I mean, like it's let's all just be honest here. Like they were all high-fiving each other because they got Jason Mewes for 1:37.
Yeah.
That's how bad the acting in this movie is. And so it does kind of take you out of it. The effects were fairly decent, except you got none of them. It's a real quick flash and a cut scene. And your effects are terrible when the majority of the kills are off screen with somebody looking out a window. It's like there's 4 people all died because they just keep checking the windows. And then boom, they get pulled out of the window and they die. So it's not bad. It's sci-fi network horror movie with a little bit more gore, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell that
Good.
some of the effects, especially any wide shots of the creatures were, because they like zoomed in on her when she falls out the window, and that was digitally done, and wide effect. Anything wide of them just looked like someone layered up fur upon fur with a bone skull on top of them.
Yeah.
Which is fine,
Yeah.
but whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, even like and they kind of shot it in my opinion, like the reveal in reverse. The only real good reveal in this is when it eats the kid, which I applaud them for.
Yeah.
I applaud them for killing that kid.
Yeah,
But-
right away.
Yeah,
But
I did not.
There's no like
Yeah.
ripping and tearing. It literally is, it's like a bunch of wet bed sheets and, the kid's feet sticking out of it and, this huge mouth, but you don't really actually see anything.
It was a blur, honestly.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck just happened? The
Yeah,
kid
you-
is
It's
dead,
like
right?
Danny
You see
said, it's
shoes.
like a skull on top of slime.
It's like a mask that's like covering it, like the
Yeah.
alien kind of thing. Yeah. I was
They
kind of
did
pissed.
trick us because in the beginning it said lives full long life under the
Yeah.
kid's life
Uh-huh.
expectancy.
Yeah.
I thought that guy was a badass coming in. That's the hero guy, Eric
Yeah,
Dane, who's
at
in
first.
like Grey's Anatomy and X-Men last time. I thought he was going to be like the hero of the whole movie, and he gets killed right away. I'm like, dude, this guy was a badass.
That's the joke.
Yeah, there's a lot of false protagonists in this one.
He's probably the
Yeah.
most well-known out of besides like Jason Mewes and maybe Chris
Well,
Allen.
Henry Rollins too.
Henry Rollins is up. Yeah. Well, he's. of
I
course.
think again, that just kind of goes to show. Like, I think Henry Rollins did a pretty.
I don't
good
know who Eric
job,
Dane is.
Job
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of
You
people
look
that
him up.
probably because it's 2006, and there's a lot of people on there I thought I possibly recognized, but Henry Rollins definitely probably was like the showstopper, and I thought he did. I thought he did as good as Henry Rollins does in all of his movies.
He's definitely number one, probably.
And you got Clue
yeah.
Gulager, who the bartender who's been in
He's been in some
horror
stuff.
things plenty.
Yeah,
in the
but
past.
I think that was like nepotism. I think I read somewhere on IMDb that he's an uncle or grandfather to the writer, one of the writers or the director. Same with the girl that's gonna rob the bar that never robs the bar. She's a girlfriend or wife of one of the directors or writers.
Okay. All right. Well, we have some things to talk about here. Not extensive notes because surprise, they don't There is a DVD with special features, but it's just there's not a whole lot on this, but that's all right,
We could probably get the writer or the director just on here to talk to us.
Yeah.
Do we want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
John,
not sure.
let's get John Gulager on here.
Well, let's get I always forget what we do
Brief
first.
synopsis.
I guess the brief synopsis. Let's get a
and
little
I'll
synopsis
do some
for
numbers.
Carmelo. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, Carmelo Chimera, the synopsis man.
Well, this is an easy one because this movie doesn't have too much of a plot. In the middle of nowhere, there is a bar in the middle of the desert, and there's a bunch of degenerates and ne'er-do-wells, a con man and his disabled brother, an old woman who drinks a lot, an old bartender, the scuzzy innkeeper owner who, for reasons that are never made 100% clear, but for sure have to do with money, bangs the really hot single mom waitress who works there while her kid's in the next room, weirdly.
Yeah.
Really young waitress who's really attractive, some motivational speaker, a delivery man who was taking a break from his job writing for 30 Rock. I think I basically got everybody who mattered.
Yeah,
Jason Mewes is there. Also, I think playing himself, if I'm not mistaken.
He is playing himself. Yeah, that's what it said. Jason Mewes, actor.
Yeah. And then all
kid
of a
in a
sudden,
wheelchair.
this woman and her husband burst into the bar and they're like, there's monsters out there. Everyone shut up and do exactly what we say or you're going to die. One of them immediately dies. Then everybody else dies one at a time. There's a lot of monsters jumping around and eating people and a lot of bad, dumb plans. They blow a lady up at one point. I can't remember why she's alive. Anyway, they all fucking die except for like 3 or 4 of them at the end. They got the monster pinned down and then Krista Allen shoves her hand so far down his throat she rips its guts out and it was really awesome. And that was that. So that was it. It was Feast.
Yeah. Then grandma comes out of the fridge.
Oh yeah, that's right. Post credits. The old lady was like, "Fuck this," and she goes to the fridge to drink through the entire climax. And she comes out and
takes a bottle of whiskey in there.
The final scare.
Yes, there's a creature still out there,
and the car almost breaks down.
You know what? Oh yeah, I did kind of like that joke. That was one joke that landed. Is on the way out, they're like driving.
That was pretty good.
And the car breaks down.
The music stops. Everything.
One thing I would have done differently though is the old lady. They keep hinting that she should know something about this because she's old, which is like a trope in horror movies that like the old people know the local legends so they can drop some exposition bombs on us. Yeah. It would have been hilarious because she denies it the whole time. If she had left the freezer and been like, not again or some shit like that. She was just holding out on them. She really did
never again.
Like
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I guess I appreciate that they did that. They kind of did that. But then again, that's like one of the horror tropes that as the fan and the audience, you actually want.
Well, it's true. You're right. You want the harbinger, the old person who's like, you kids shouldn't have dug up that Indian burial ground because now, the ghost of a cat will come kill you or something.
Yeah, I think like that's like, out of all the horror tropes that we don't like that they I thought we weren't going to get, but then we did get, and then we didn't get, and it was back and forth. The only one that would have like really, in my opinion, would have taken the movie like up a couple of notches would have been the old drunk grandma telling them the story about these mutant buffaloes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rob. It would have been a trope, but it would have made it better if it had been like, they cursed their land and then they turn demon monsters.
Yeah, listen here. Listen.
I think it'd be hilarious.
And they hinted at it like that tough guy was like, something, like I thought we were going to get something.
He got a little too into it. I was like, why would she know anything?
Yeah, they really
just because she's old
really laid that on thick. And the bartender could have been like, well, she doesn't, but I do. And then she even says that she's like, ask him, he's old. They make fun of the trope, but they do miss an opportunity to add some lore, and that might have made the movie more fun.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Scotty, how many tens of dollars did this movie make?
So many. Film was shown October 14th, 2005 at the Chicago International Film Festival. A year later, it was released to a theatrical release, limited September 22nd, 2006. That's our birthday. Yeah. The budget was $3.2 million, and box office was $658,000. So not a great box office.
At least $2 million of that was to Jason Mewes' heroin addiction at the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
he was still real strung out in 2006.
That's why 2 characters in this name are heroin. We should name heroin, man. But yeah, some money went into it, and you could see some effects, but I'm sure you'll get into who put some money into it too, Danny.
Yeah. Well, I hear tell that we have a Rob's rundown.
Oh,
Rob's rundown.
Keeps. Okay.
Rob's rundown.
All right. Woo. Okay.
So
Here we go.
we have
Here we are.
it's on legal paper, so it's legal. We have one small town. Oh goodness. We have one small town bar, multiple cool pot smoking scenes, one hog man, Sasquatch, Wendigo, slime monster, buffalo attack. We have one evil bar owner, one shitty Quentin Tarantino soundtrack. We have zero boobs. None.
Yeah, damn
That's
it.
true.
Come on.
Ridiculous for
We got
$3
bra
million.
boobs, but that's it.
Only bras.
We have one dead. We have one dead ant. We have one pool shark hustler who wins $4.
Yeah, I saw it.
He
Just $1 bills.
scams Jason Mewes in a pool game for 4 singles. Okay. We have multiple Evil Dead POV monster running through the wilderness shots. We have one dead child. That's half a star plus. We have one ungrateful single mom, because she is. We have 3 headless blood fountains, multiple ninja window monster snatches, multiple monster arm through the body punches, one leg removal, eye gouging, face peeling, head chopping, multiple epic speeches, one acid vomit attack, one 1979 Camaro. We have karate, which I thought was just awesome, with massive punch and pow sounds when the 30 Rock guy tries to escape, and all of a sudden she turns into a Navy SEAL. Makes sense. We have one wheelchair bound cripple. And so in summation, we've got blood, guts, maggots, guns, booze, dope, and explosions. And I did give it 7.1 out of 10.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Only because it has 0. And I repeat this. Aaron's a friend. He sends me hats. This
Good
movie's
man.
got 0 rewatchability. But for like a rainy Sunday afternoon, like when I watched it, I watched it because y'all forced me to. But
Yeah.
like if it was on Shudder or just bouncing around out of the like menagerie of shit that's on Prime, this was pretty good.
Hell yeah.
This is like a TBS afternoon.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Okay.
It's a fun time for sure.
But I still say a little bit of lore, a little bit of background, and it would have been much better, with the cranky old woman and there's and the monster effects for $3 million. This is one of those movies. Can somebody explain how they spent $3 million?
Yeah. I agree with you with the lore and stuff too. I think.
Well, it's one location. It's one location.
Yeah, you're in the bar the whole time. Is all that spent on effects?
But it
or
was
is that-
shot almost exclusively in a studio, Lone Star Studios in Los Angeles. So
Yeah, but they
yes.
only had I think we could all. I think maybe 3 external shots. They had one shot of them pulling up to the bar in the beginning, and then they had the explosion outside, which I guess probably could have been shot in the studio.
Yeah.
And then the external shot when they leave.
Must have been mostly on effects and explosions. I mean, unless like Henry Rollins demanded $600,000. I mean, who do you think they paid the most out of all? Like Krista Allen, Rollins? I don't know.
I think it had to be Rollins.
Yeah, I think so too.
Did you see how long the shoot was?
It's a month actually. So November 24th. Well, October 18th through November 24th. So a little over a month. Yeah, in 2004 is when they shot it.
Yeah.
And no advertising budget. I mean, this is 2006 when people were still getting, that's what Carmelo posts all the movies he goes to see, or we talk about it. I miss half of them because I don't really watch, and a lot of us don't. I don't really watch traditional television,
Yeah.
so I don't get.
Right. I don't see the trailer.
I don't get trailers or commercials for anything that's
right.
up and coming.
I don't know that they would have had one because we'll get into it now. This was made in a roundabout way. So it actually came out of a reality TV show called Project Greenlight. Project Greenlight was a documentary TV series that gave first-time filmmakers a chance to direct a feature film. The show was created and actually produced by, it was produced by Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and a few others. Sean Bailey, Chris
never
Moore.
mind. It explains everything. We should have led this with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck present
It's in the credits there.
They are
produced by-
executive producers: Wes Craven, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon, and Chris Moore.
The trifecta. The trifecta.
That's why Jason
the
Mewes was in it.
trifecta of mediocrity. There we go. We got him. Okay.
Well, so yeah, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Sean Bailey, Chris Moore. It was produced through their production company, Live Planet, along with Miramax Films. So Project Greenlight first aired on HBO for 2 seasons, 2001 to 2003, before moving to Bravo for season 3 in 2005.
Oh my!
The series returned in 2015 for a 4th season, airing on HBO again. But then on July 26, 2016, the series was canceled. In May of 2021, HBO Max picked up the series with an 8-episode order, and it will be produced by Issa Rae through her production company, Hooray Media. So I guess it's supposedly coming back. The revival title, Project Greenlight, A New Generation. Oh, it did. It premiered on July 13th, 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, season 3 aired on March 15th, 2005, and the selected screenplay belonged to Marcus Dunstan and Patrick Melton and was called Feast.
Oh, okay.
2005.
So those are the writers.
Yeah.
One of the 12 films that came out in Project Greenlight is a movie called Matt Damathon.
No way. That's an actual movie. That's an actual movie.
I just Googled it.
Do you have to say it? Matt Damon.
Damathon.
Oh.
Well, at one point,
I gotta watch that.
At one point, there were talks of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon playing Bozo and Hot Wheels because of their involvement with the film. So,
that would be awesome.
Please
wheelchair bound
remake
guy
this movie with Matt Damon in a wheelchair.
and the beer guy. But ultimately, it didn't happen. And Balthazar Getty and Josh Zuckerman were eventually cast in those roles. But if the name Getty sounds familiar, that's because Balthazar Getty comes from the famous oil and media dynasty Getty family.
Oh.
His parents are Gisela Zacher and John Paul Getty III. This is the Getty family from the iconic J. Paul Getty Museum in L.A., operated by J. Paul Getty Trust, the world's wealthiest art institution. So Balthazar began acting at a young age and appeared in things like Lord of the Flies, Charmed, and Alias.
He looked a little familiar too. Yeah.
Eric Dane, who I said I didn't really recognize, but Scotty called it, makes a brief appearance. He's most known for X-Men Last Stand and Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, he's in a lot of Grey's Anatomy, but there's some other stuff he's into that's recent, like Euphoria and a couple other things.
I guess the cameo role of Hero was offered to Mark Wahlberg, but he turned it down. And
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark, for being one of the only people to come out of Boston in this time that can say no.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Well,
which part was he offered?
Hero, the
cameo
the
Hero guy, the Eric Dane.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That would have been sweet.
Josh,
I just ordered a pair of his shoes.
The municipals. You have to let me know how they feel.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I just don't know if they're hyped up or if they really are cool.
I've seen reviews. People really seem to like them.
Let me know too, because I've been looking at those too.
Well, Josh Duhamel was also interested in the role, but forced to drop out for scheduling conflicts.
He was really busy with Vegas on USA at the time, I think.
Really?
What?
Isn't that him? Isn't that Josh Duhamel?
Yeah.
I'd never heard of Vegas. That's the name of the show, Vegas.
I'm pretty sure that was the show that was like it was like USA Tonight, Burn Notice, and then an exciting new episode of Vegas.
Vegas.
We need those. I mean, we need them back. I'm sorry, I make fun of them, but I miss those shows. Actually, now that Savannah got me hooked on Royal Pains and all that shit, I miss USA. We need more of it.
Well, after winning the 3rd season of Project Greenlight and getting this movie made, Marcus Dunstan went on to write Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw 3D, and Saw X.
Really?
Yeah, I guess so.
He wrote one good Saw movie, 3 mediocre and Saw movies, and 1 terrible Saw movie.
Do you like Carmelo? Can you? I don't want you to do it right now, but would you be able to summarize each of those Saw movies?
I certainly could. Yes.
Wow.
I
need to rewatch. I need to watch them.
I know we did a Saw episode, and we don't want to do 6 more Saw episodes. So if you want to do like a Saw retrospective with me, I will do every Saw movie.
I didn't realize what a Saw fan you were. Not that you like all those movies, but
You know, in the early 2000s when they came out, they were like the hot horror movie, and every year there was a new one, and it became a tradition for my brother and I. It was part of like our Halloween festivities, was to go for a new one. And by the time they started sucking, I was so roped into the main story, which they then kept dragging out to make more movies. And that's what made the movies worse. The main story kept getting thinner and the gore kept getting greater. And so they get worse and worse. But I was like too far in it. And I was like, I really want to see how this ends. And so
I got to watch it.
You got to know when to quit. You just got
But
to
I
know
tell
when
you,
to give
Saw
up
X
and quit.
was great. Last year, they made the best movie since Saw 2. It was fantastic.
Nice.
I still need to
Nice.
watch that one.
Yeah.
Well, Dunstan also.
Sorry, I was going to tell Rob's right. Las Vegas with Josh Duhamel, Tom Selleck, James Caan, and Dennis Hopper.
Wow.
There we go.
Star
Series.
cast. Star cast.
2003 to 2008 TV series.
So he was
guys in
right.
there.
He was right in the middle of Vegas.
Yep. Look at that. Anyway.
Again, they're like recognizing because it's weird because this movie's almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
So I've never heard of it or seen it at all, and I didn't even look when it was made. I just put it on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people in there. I'm like, I swear, like that's so familiar. But then you're like, they don't place because I mean nothing really ever happened after 2010 for most of these people.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't. It's hard to place them.
Totally.
Dunstan also wrote Piranha 3DD.
3 double D. Yep.
And was involved in the story aspect of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh.
He also helped write the two
Busy man.
sequels to Feast 2 and Feast 3. Patrick Melton was also involved in both sequels, the Saw films and Piranha 3 Double D. Yeah. So Feast marked John Gulager's directorial debut. But he's not only a director, he's also an actor and a cinematographer. He directed both sequels to Feast, Piranha 3 Double D, and Zombie Night. So I guess Piranha 3 Double D has a lot to do with these people. What do you know?
Jeez. And wasn't there a bunch of piranhas made too? But that was just the 3D double Ds that he
I'm
was
not sure how
involved
many
in.
piranhas there are.
Yeah, let's look that up.
I don't know. So yeah, Marcus, he wrote the script as a comedy, as an all-out comedy. He wanted to create something in a bar with a small budget. The idea about a monster knocking down the door and entering the bar made the whole concept come together for him and Patrick Melton. The original script was a $40 million budget movie, so they had to trim it way down and make it work within their budget. Make it one location, one bar, so they didn't have all these expenses.
Yeah. They still spent $3 million though.
Yeah. The opening shots in the desert were filmed by Gulager on his own with an 8mm camera. The opening shots, that would have been like the car wreck. I was going to say there's obviously that stylized footage of the flashback, where she's talking about her daughter, right? Charlie, the heroine, is talking about her daughter and how she left her with her mom. Or
Right.
whatever.
She left her with like
Yeah.
grandma. Yeah.
For the
Yeah, they had
sleepover.
that like very stylized flashback that's all grainy and everything. Anyways, so he went out and shot his own stuff to fill in some of the gaps in the movie, including the dead dog. And it was a real dead dog they found on the side of the road.
Oh, geez.
They picked it up and filmed it, adding to the opening montage. Then a lot of other little pickup shots. And yeah, the title cards featured for the characters were the intros from the original script. The inspiration for the film was like low budget horror movies. They wanted to take things that normally happen in the genre and take it in another direction. So they decided to take things one step too far in order to enhance the comedy that was already inherent in the script. And I'm guessing that has to do with the kid dying right away, even though it said he was living this long, full life, and the Harbinger trope that we missed out on, but they harped on so much, There might be other examples of over the topness.
I think what they did was probably because they were influenced by the mediocrity of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
They do good work. Come on, you don't like either of them?
Okay.
They do some good acting work.
If we're gonna go into this, do they get a lot of work? Yes. Are they good actors? Absolutely not in any way.
They are good
or
actors.
form.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Besides the Bourne movies, and really only 2.
Matt Damon's pretty good, and Ben Affleck has a couple here and there.
Oh, Ben Affleck's terrible. Come on, Ben Affleck's
He's got a
terrible.
couple here and there.
and he's not
He's
listening.
got a couple.
He's not listening to the show. He's too busy trying to figure out how to divorce J-Lo. So he's never going to hear this. Ben Affleck, if you do listen, you suck. But
we have 8 million listeners,
Matt
so
Damon's
odds are
pretty.
he does.
Matt Damon is pretty good. I'm not going to.
I like Damon.
Not, but if you take like everything Matt Damon's done, you can probably only pick 3 things that are even decent. I mean, like Good Will Hunting, I've seen it. It's not really. It's good. It's not great. I mean, the best part about Good Will Hunting is you just could not believe how good Robin Williams was.
No, Robin Williams
I don't
was
think
really good.
anybody
He was good.
knew or had a clue how good Robin Williams was. And then The Bournes are fantastic. And I think The Departed is good, but I think it was just massively overhyped. I don't think it's even the best.
Martian's good.
Movie.
Martian's good.
Either which way. But what
He's
they
good
did
in
was
Saving Private Ryan. He's fine in Saving Private Ryan.
yeah, because they limited him.
They did limit him.
They just have him crying.
He's in Interstellar. Interstellar, he's good.
Was he?
Yeah,
in
he's limited in that too. He's
again. I'm like, was he in Interstellar?
Yeah, you have to think for a second.
I mean, I changed my mind. Like I used to not like Matthew McConaughey, but now I swear anything Matthew
he's so
McConaughey
good.
does, done.
Oh, he's
Done
so
deal.
good.
Don't even care. Don't even need to watch a trailer. Same with Tom Hardy.
He's one of my favorites.
Do not even care. If it's got Tom Hardy, I'm watching it. But it's like they took this movie and it makes sense it was on a reality show. But like, it's like, oh, Tremors was cool. We'll do that. Oh, Scream was cool. It's like they have these meta moments in it, but they are not actually calling back enough, I think, to like what they're making fun of. Again,
it's
like
not
the old
enough.
Harbinger woman. Let's let her be the Harbinger. Like, I don't like the guy, I think, because I don't really like comic book stuff. But Joss Whedon or whatever, who did Cabin in the Woods, is the most perfect. So I still say so. Because they knew what to call back to. They knew what to make fun of. And to me, it's actually funny. Like, it's really, really good. This one is kind of like that. It's like, it's just really messy.
Yeah. Well, it could have been messier. The Harley mom was supposed to be smoking crack, but the producers chickened out, according to the commentary. Worried that they would
okay. We're gonna murder the 9-year-old.
Yeah, we're worried they'd be shut down since they were already playing with fire when it came to studio approval.
Oh, geez.
Smoking crack. What do you know?
Now that was
Really?
one thing. That's one thing I don't get. It's like studio.
The Harley
approval,
mom.
It's like it's produced by
I knew
Ben
about
Affleck and Matt Damon. You're telling
It's
me
not
they couldn't
Affleck. It's Affleck.
Affleck. But like they couldn't get crack approved.
No crack approval.
She was the one that was like found out to be alive at the very end there. And
Yeah, they couldn't let.
She's
and
the
they
wife.
blew her up anyways.
Yeah, she's like the
She was
wife or the
alive.
girlfriend of the director or one of the writers.
They knew that fictional crack would set off Jason Mewes.
She got her legs
Yes.
cut off.
Yes, they did.
The original script had 2 pages of mythology for the aliens. Oh, they're calling them
see,
aliens.
there it is.
Are they actually aliens?
I don't know. We don't know.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
and see, now I'm glad they didn't do because aliens makes even less sense because they're Wendigos.
I'm with Rob here. They've got such a Southwest flair to them. I would much
Yeah.
rather they be like cursed something or other in the desert, or if they are aliens, maybe they crash landed like in native times and then they were like buried or something. I don't know. I don't care. I
Yeah,
really
what the hell? Maybe it gets into it in the sequels.
They
I
were
don't
more
know, but
Wendigo.
God, am I
like-
gonna
Oh
have
yeah,
to watch
I'm sure the sequels to this movie really clear right up.
oh yeah,
yeah.
that's gonna clear everything up.
I'm making a stance. There is not enough Wendigo movies, and there is not enough evil witch movies. And why can't we get this?
Yeah, you're
know.
right.
Yeah,
we got a
no.
little bit here, a little bit.
I mean,
Well-
but they leave us lacking. I want the old lady to tell us about,
I do too.
I
how
want to hear
their
that lore.
great ancestors in Bootstrap, Texas, or wherever they were, murdered a medicine man or something like that. Like, give me something.
That would have been great. This is the first thing they cut from the film as production moved forward. So,
I kept
Makes
going with
sense.
that.
and yeah, so Rob, the Harley mom is actually married to director John Gulager. She's the one that we talked about was maybe going to do crack. She's the one they tried to strap the bombs to, Well, they did, and she exploded, but they realized she was alive at the last
And
minute.
it was so wonderful to have a 7-minute scene about building this woman into a friggin', ISIS soldier or something, and then giving her 50 foot of extension cord to blow up one
Little
Wendigo,
baby.
whatever. Yeah, just one baby. Didn't do anything.
Did they even blow up? I guess they blew up the baby. Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. We didn't get the payoff.
And John Gulager, obviously, Clu Gulager then is his father. So that's the connection there.
That's the bartender, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and according to John, the director, he didn't really direct his father on set. He just let his dad do what he wanted.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You don't tell me, son.
Well, I'm sure when he was
following your
discussing the character's motivation with his father, he was like, "I think I got it."
It's like I've been in more movies. I've done this, son. You're not directing me.
Oh gosh. Well, the sequence where the monster first attacks was shot throughout the entire course of production. They would come in and pick up patchwork they needed to flush out all of the action during the scene. Again, it was very whip cuts and I don't know. That could have been related to budget because they didn't want to see too much of any one cheaper effect. It was just
sometimes it's okay. I mean, honestly, sometimes it is. Like I think so.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm with Carmelo. I like monster movies, and we don't really get a lot of them. And the ones that we do get are all basically CGI, and I don't really care for that. So, like, there's definitely like ridiculous stuff in Humanoids from the Deep, and the Tom Sizemore one, Relic, and all those other ones. And it's like you just move on. But I'd rather have more of it. Like 20 good shots and 3 of those aren't great. That's still fine. That's still good.
And they didn't let up with like blood and slime and goo, and like they definitely had plenty of liquid creature stuff going on for this movie.
I will say there was a kill that really got me was the eyeball when the guy gets his eyeball. Well, he didn't die actually. I take it back. It's not a kill, but you can see the optic nerve.
Thought he was dead.
That's fucked up. Like
That's
I'm
good.
not super squeamish, but I am squeamish, and that's one of those things that gets to me. Like people's eyes.
He had like a
getting fucked up.
He had like a 37-foot long optic nerve.
I know. It was like it just kept stretching, and I was just like, "Please, someone just cut it, please." It's horrible. Like,
What got me was when the waitress lifted up the little bandana, and all those maggots were on her on his eye.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that was so nasty.
Yeah.
I also see like again like I think that's where the movie loses me too, is because we get doubles and triples of things. We get double, triple. We get 2. One. We get like 4. Let's go play with the window moments. We get like 4 of them, so we're already bored.
Yeah.
And then we get a window moment that's not a window moment where the girl gets, sucked through the wall or something. And then we get a punch through the back, through the chest with the army guy in the beginning. Then we get a punch through the floor, through the back, through the chest of the bar owner. And then he gets puked on with no maggots. Then he runs to the bathroom and he's covered in maggots. And then we get an eyeball full of maggots. It's like they just, you have all these kills, and we really do get a lot of the same thing kind of spaced out, but over and over again.
Yeah. They had just a big bag of maggots on set. Like, we have to use these up.
We got to use these guys. We only got $3.2 million to make this movie.
So fucking gross. Jesus Christ.
Hey, at least they had plenty of beer. Like, they had the beer truck out there. Like, they didn't, if they ran out of like water or something, they had plenty of beer. The beer truck was out there. They were covered there. They just drink themselves to death.
The sound the monster.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the sound it makes is a mixture of a chainsaw and a pig. I thought that was interesting.
Definitely a pig. You could definitely hear the squealing of the pig.
Yeah, squealing was there.
I would say one of the only things that actually did work for me was the hero gives a speech and then dies, and then some other idiot steps up, and then they give a speech and then they die, and then some other idiot steps up. Like I did like that. Like that was one of like those inside jokes that actually kind of resonated. That was funny because it's honestly the most obnoxious part of any survival horror movie is they just always have to write it. And I mean, I'm so happy AI is starting to learn quicker than the Hollywood writers, or most of them. Is like, we don't need 15 minutes of drama about who knows best.
Yeah.
like that's what I mean. That's why I quit. I had to take a break from watching Lost. Like, I'm so over it. I don't want to hear any more about who's in charge. I don't want to hear any more about it.
Yep. Who's a leader? Who's in charge?
I wouldn't
I'm in charge
usually point out this unimportant fact, but I actually thought this when I was watching the movie. The beer guy, he gets all covered with slime. Then he's coming down the stairs and he slips down like the last flight. And just in my mind at that moment, I was like, I wonder if that was pretty smooth. Like, I wonder if he planned that or not.
Yeah.
That would be hard to plan a slip that good down the last flight of stairs and then just pop back up and keep talking, you know?
Maybe he was like slippery from blood and stuff.
Yeah, but it says when he fell down the stairs, it was unplanned. It happened during a take and he stayed in character and they continued to film it. So they were able to use it. So that answered my question.
There you go.
That guy's a pro, man.
There's
Just keep
there's
going.
like just weird things. I'm not trying to punch too many holes in it, but you don't really pay attention to it. But that's why I think about the rewatchability. There's just so like, who is the beer guy? Why is he there at midnight? Why doesn't he leave? Why is
he smoking a joint in the basement?
Yeah, and then you know this the evil bar owner who honestly isn't really evil. Like, I don't really see anything that's.
I mean, he
going
sucks.
on.
He does at least one evil thing, but other than that, he's.
But I mean, like, it was consensually evil.
I'm not talking about when he sex with the waitress. I'm talking about when he shoves a bomb in that woman's mouth, and when she turns out to be alive, he's like, meh. And
I know, but I mean, like, you know, emergency services aren't going to come.
I don't blame
enough.
him for Krista Allen. I mean, he was definitely taking advantage of her, which is not okay. And
or
shame on him for that.
She was just a terrible, terrible mother.
I mean,
I think that resonates more on her character.
There's substantial evidence in Rob's favor here, you know.
Yep.
But it just so I'm glad they skipped over some things, and then other things it would have been so much better. And now to find out they had pages of lore, it's like, just put them in there, because we didn't need 3 out of the 5 speeches. We could have whittled something away.
The movie could have lost 5 characters and it wouldn't have been any worse.
It wouldn't have made no difference. Like, Henry Rollins made no difference. He was good in it. Jason Mewes made no difference.
No. So yeah, and Jason Mewes was a waste. I mean, I will say the movie is kind of cool that once the monsters attack, they slaughter 3/4 of the on-screen characters. And I could not believe it. I was like, is there going to be anybody left for the movie? Yeah. But there was, because there's 100 people in this little bar in the middle of nowhere. Like,
you forget about people. You completely forget about characters in this movie.
Yeah.
I just wanted them to kill the beer guy. Like, when is he going to die? God.
Oh, that motherfucker should have died way earlier.
Well, and they keep switching off who you think maybe is going to be sort of this main hero. But I mean, and it still ends up a little bit in the air. It's really the 2 people. It's the asshole you never liked from the beginning, and then the hot girl. So
yeah, he's taking that dead kid's mom and his $4. He's getting out of there.
Yeah.
Can we talk for a second about how the other hot girl in the movie steals the car and drives away? And that's
she steals the beer truck,
comes back,
and you never hear from her again.
I didn't think about that. Again, I completely forgot about that. And yes, how realistic.
Yeah, she doesn't, like, you know, in a normal movie, she would circle back around and come up and save one of them at the 11th hour, and she's like, they were chasing me. I was only driving away to get away from them, and then I came back for you. But this girl's like, nope, fuck you.
I'm out. Yeah. Well, you're right, because one of 2 things would happen in a normal movie: what you just described. Or we'd catch up with her like a little bit down the road and see her just get fucking brutally murdered.
Right.
And she would get what she deserved
with her and rip her in half.
But it didn't happen. She just got away scot-free. She just
there she goes. See, that's what I mean about like how it gets you on certain things. Like, I completely forgot about that part. And I watched the movie twice because I forgot to do the rundown on the first time. So I watched it the second time so I could be fresh and a professional.
Good man.
And, and show up on time for the podcast. And all those things that are required of me. But like, that's your ending. Like, the old woman, that's kind of fun and cool. I get that. My ending would have been her listening to some whatever country western song, switching gears in the beer truck, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Like that's the funnier ending.
Fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
It's like how we joke, or how I've joked on here. Like, there's a part of me that I want, if I just had tons of money to burn, I would make a 37-second horror movie, and I would pump so much ad money into it and blow it up and release it and it would literally be like somebody driving down the road or something, and like, man, I think they need help. No, they don't, and then just leave, and then boom, credits.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I thought like
And she kind of did that. She was like, nope, not going back.
yeah,
She's
I
like,
couldn't
later.
believe she didn't come out.
That's awesome.
But the very next scene after she goes, like the wall gets busted in, they all wreak havoc, and that's that chaotic scene.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bright. I thought it was her bashing the beer truck into the wall, and then they're all going to get in. I'm like, no, oh wait, nope, that's not her. So, but and that's all
the basement scenes were filmed on a separate set than the bar scenes, just a whole different thing. It's actually Wes Craven got them access to this basement set that was originally built for Cursed, starring Christina Ricci.
That movie's so
one
bad.
of the worst movies,
dude. Very bad movie.
Just really down there on the list. Really down there on the list.
I appreciate y'all bringing that up because
Yep, we saw that.
That's the Achilles heel to every Wes Craven fan.
Dude, Cursed is so bad.
It's just like, he did Nightmare on Elm Street, big whoop. He didn't write Screen. News alert. He didn't write it. He was cheap, and he had a name. He directed it, and then Cursed.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever seen Cursed.
Oh, it's
actually one of those movies that I've like. I don't think I've seen Cursed, or that was it The Covenant, that vampire one that is like always on the list of the worst horror movies ever made.
Dude.
It's like pre-Twilight or something. I can't.
It's bad. Well, the maggots in the movie were real mealworms, by the way.
God.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah. So Gary J. Tunnicliffe, the creature and special effects designer on the film, was actually inside one of the monsters' costumes when they showed the parents having sex against the car. So those were people in suits with skulls on. So Gary, the special effects and creature designer for the film, is a British special effects artist who's been working in the industry since like 1990. Other projects are Piranha 3D, not Double D, just Piranha 3D.
There's 3D, so there's two of them.
Yeah. My Bloody Valentine, Blade, the Scream TV series, Hellraiser Revelations, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Halloween Resurrection, Sleepy Hollow, and 2 Feast sequels.
See, I wonder how many of those big name movies are that he was just there.
Hey, wait a minute for the big name movies though, because X-Men 3 and Halloween Resurrection, like.
Don't you say one bad word about Resurrection.
He also did blood makeup effects on Gone Girl.
There's a good Ben Affleck movie.
I've never seen Gone Girl.
Oh, it's good.
Affleck movie.
Dude, it's like one of Liz's favorite movies of all time.
That means she's
it's
plotting something, Scotty.
Yeah,
that means there's something going on.
She's watched it many times and read the book. So
there's a new documentary on Hulu about the actual
happening of it.
Yeah, because it was based on a true story.
Movie. It's a good movie.
So.
Ben Affleck is good in that.
Gary was also the makeup
defending
effects.
Ben Affleck, Scotty. Okay, it's not
That's
like
the only one, though.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio's way better. Okay,
I didn't mind Ben Affleck's Batman. I didn't mind it.
I don't watch children's movies. I'm sorry.
Gary was also a makeup effects sculptor on Ginger Snaps, the cult classic.
I do like Ginger Snaps.
So,
and I like Sleepy Hollow, but I think some of those movies. Well, I guess Carmelo knows about X-Men and all those other ones, but like, I mean, I wonder how many of them are working. Like, they're like 20 players down the bench. They just happen to have special effects. Credits. Sleepy Hollow is like a cheat code, or Tim Burton, because I'm sorry, I honestly believe Tim Burton goes to them and says, this is how it's going to look. I don't need any input from you. None. You just have to make it.
Yeah.
Because every Tim Burton movie looks the same.
It's one little prosthetic thing and his name's on there.
Yeah. He put a screw into one of the glasses that Johnny Depp wore.
Yeah. It's always got to have Johnny Depp, and
he's credited for special effects,
and Helen Bonham Carter, and it's got to have them all. The
Maybe
movie was
do
shot.
An episode on Sweeney Todd. That was a good movie.
It was pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was good.
The movie was shot almost entirely in order because they destroy the bar over the course of the film, and so that has to be, has to be the way it was done.
I don't know why they shoot movies out of order.
Yeah.
I do. I get if you've got like 20 multiple locations, like something like the Bourne Identity and things like that. But like, there's just sometimes to me, I'm like, if it's a simple storyboard throughout, I just don't know why people don't shoot it in order, because I think it's easier to miss something. or continuity.
Sometimes you shoot for light and darkness too, and
Yeah.
weather impacts. You never know.
Yeah. We already mentioned the beer guy's death when his head just explodes. They actually
It's pretty great.
didn't know how they were going to do it till the night before.
That was awesome.
And they made it obviously from a balloon, and it was the cheapest effect of the whole movie because they just made it last minute.
Wow.
One of those Joe
there
Castro
were
specials.
definitely some good effects. There was definitely some good effects in here. I just, like I said, it's like, especially for a movie like this, which is like kind of in the slasher category almost, because like Carmelo said, they packed like half a county's worth of people in this bar. And I think they started running out of ideas or budget.
Yeah.
So that's why they just kept doing kind of like the same thing over again. I'd rather, like what we were talking about, less cast with a long, creepy monologue from the old drunk lady, and I can live without.
And then it'd be that eerie feel, like skin crawling, like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You would get that. And
Actually,
I wanted that guy to light that fucking bottle already, but you just could never get it.
It never happened. It never did. The car stalling at the end was accidental, and they kept it.
What?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's cool.
That's cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all the facts I have. But there's some stuff about reception. You know, the film ran for a special late night showing on September 22nd and 23rd, 2006. Again, almost a year after it premiered at Chicago Film Festival.
Thanks, Carmelo.
Yeah. Earned just under $690,000 during its limited box office run, but the DVD was released October 17th, earning an additional $4.6 million.
What
on the DVD?
Is that like over the last 20 years?
I don't know. That's just what it says. Maybe from then till now. I'm not.
So that means they made their money back with the DVD release.
I mean, it's an interesting premise for this reality show. I guess people have to actually watch the show, but like you get people in line, but like this movie was made in 06, but it wasn't shot. I Wikipedia'd it, but it wasn't featured on the Greenlight show until season 4. So there's a huge gap between them, I think. And then I guess nobody was watching Greenlight anyway, because they canceled, like you said, they canceled it. They brought it back. And there's only been 3 movies. Out of 5 seasons, they've only actually made 3 motion pictures. Yeah. Like actually greenlit them and made them.
I feel like I've seen tons of Project Greenlight movies. Is that not
Well,
right?
I Googled it, and when you go to Wikipedia, there's like mini movies I think that they show on it, but there's really only 3 that like if you major released movies. There was one in Chicago, which was in 2002. Then there's a military movie in 3. Then this movie in 05, 06. And then there was one more, I think, 10 years later or whenever they re-brought the show up.
Maybe
so I'm not sure, but I think the premise, at least of the first 3 or 4 seasons, was pitch us a movie kind of thing, or they pick the best short film to then
Like
put
Shark
money
Tank
into.
for movies
Yeah,
or something?
I think so. But I mean, it's on HBO Max. I may actually check it out, but it doesn't look like it was very popular.
Yeah. Not a lot of votes on IMDb for the series, that's for sure. Yeah. More like 1K.
57% on Rotten Tomatoes, or maybe it's IMDb. Yeah, something like that. So
1,000 votes on the IMDb. 7 out of 10.
Yeah. But that was Feast.
Yeah. I think they tried to make this kind of like a classic with some of the one-liners and like the comedy with the the monsters humping the dead creature, the dead taxidermy things, and the monster sex, monster cock, some of the one-liners in there, but maybe it just didn't stick like as Evil Dead would have, or Cabin in the Woods, like you were saying. A lot of good one-liners there, which they should make a second one for that one. But
God, I love Cabin in the Woods.
There it is.
I love that movie. That movie is so special to me. I love Cabin in the Woods.
Great men will write about my bravery.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other movies, what did you watch?
Did I watch it?
Anybody?
I saw Quiet Place,
Oh yeah, the newest one.
the new one. I liked it.
All right.
It was
Surprise, Carmelo liked a movie.
the math suggests a lot of people like this movie. It did very well. It has
We don't know. Look, if we can't even vote and our votes count in this country.
I need to watch
Then-
that.
Well, they
I-
count if you vote by mail and you're a Democrat, obviously.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that may be changing now. That may be changing. But like,
Be
was
careful,
that
we're
the
gonna get banned again.
Was that the Netflix
Yeah.
one?
This episode's getting banned now.
Look, Carmelo, I'm not going to release any of those texts about what you were doing in Pennsylvania during the Trump rally. It's all right.
I can either confirm nor deny. That
Look, all I'm saying
You're
is that
watching Quiet Place.
all I'm saying is that right after it happened, Carmelo sent me a text and said you were right. I should have aimed a little bit more right. I don't know what to make of that.
That's when you were peeing in the toilet.
if you
Peed
get
over the
me
wall.
swatted, Rob, so help me God, I'm going to tell them it was all your idea.
Look, I'm a
gonna
I'm a registered Republican in Florida. They never believe you.
You're Antifa. You're false flag. You're a red. What do you call
That's
it?
right. Yeah. Because I'm voting for Kamala Harris, and I expect everybody else to do the same because she is smoking hot.
Did you say Carmelo Harris?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm working on my fan fiction novel, Elbow Deep in the Oval Office.
Oh my God! I can't wait to read
Oh.
that. I'm afraid
Okay.
I have to run now, everybody.
All
You
right.
saw Quiet Place. Great job.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Is that the one on Netflix?
No,
No,
theaters.
it's in theaters
It's
right
the
now.
newest Quiet Place.
The newest one.
What's
Day
the
one.
one that was on Netflix?
Bird Box.
Bird Box?
Are you sure?
Oh, a
Yeah.
new Netflix movie? I don't know.
I thought there was like a third. Never mind.
it's the third
I
Quiet
hadn't
Place.
even watched the second Quiet Place.
It's the third Quiet Place.
All right. We'll let Carmelo bow out and then we'll
Tell
see what
Chris
you
we said
watched,
hi.
Rob.
I can't wait for you guys to have the baby.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. I'm
All
gonna leave it on so it updates
Okay.
for you.
That's good.
What
That's good.
did I
All right,
watch?
Rob, what'd you watch?
Trying to
I don't
think.
know that I watched anything, honestly.
Well, no, I mean we had an assassination attempt, and then I was on CNN and I watched a couple of Rays games. I think I kind of watched Starry Eyes on Shudder.
That's a good one.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
that's
Star
a
Wars.
good one. I
Just-
remember Starry Eyes.
It was I don't know if it's it looked. I mean, as I was trying to
It's
pay attention
good.
to it, it was fine, but I didn't really sit down and watch anything.
Well, you were recommending Chad Gets the Axe, and
Okay, well, it has been 2 weeks. So
Has
what,
it? I mean-
so what did I recommend? I recommended. It was
you didn't
I po-
recommend. Maybe you mentioned that already last time. Well, we talked about Loop Track last time for sure.
Okay.
Chad
Oh.
Gets the Axe. You texted me about, and
I posted it on the horror thing. I
Yeah.
think the week before last, in between the shows, is
and
when
I watched the
really-
trailer for it. It looks really good. I just need to watch
It is really good. If you liked the
It looks
Death
similar
Stream,
to Deadstream. It looks similar
yeah, but
to
it's
Deadstream.
just as good. I mean, like
Really?
it's really good.
I
I'm
love
telling
Gets
you,
the
it's
Axes?
really good.
Yeah, Chad Gets the Axe. It's the same.
Let's try that.
They took what Deadstream did, and it's, I would call it the second movie of this like new idea of streaming horror instead of found footage horror. It's like streaming horror, like they're
The
streaming
best-
it live.
The
Like
best
YouTube
part about
Live.
like Chad Gets the Axe is very much like Deadstream. It's like that. It's really funny, but they must put a lot of work into it. As you're watching the movie, it's a live stream. So there are just comments like in a live stream video, and they
Yeah.
all work with the movie.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
almost watch the movie twice because you just sit there and read the
Read the
comments, and you
comments.
will just
Yeah.
bust out laughing. There's this whole from start to finish. There's this one guy on there who's just obsessed with feet. So it's just constantly like as something goes or happens, there's randomly like show them feet. Let me see them toes. it's just so funny. I mean, it's a really brilliant idea.
I'm gonna
How-
look this up too.
It's so good.
I'll have to watch it.
And I watched one more on Shudder that I liked, but Chad Gets the Axe is hands down probably the best thing new. The best
Yeah.
new thing. Well, Loop Track's new. Loop Track, Chad Gets the Axe, and then Danny said he liked Exuma. But I haven't watched
It's
Exuma.
called hashtag.
Oh, I watched it.
Chad Gets the Axe.
It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Hashtag Chad Gets the Axe.
Gotcha.
It is.
So
I could rewatch it again.
Yeah.
For rewatchability, you can rewatch that movie 20.
maybe me and you should watch it next week.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
We'll get some
2022.
piece
Do
pizza.
it.
This came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Chad Gets the
Oh, it's
Axe.
so friggin' good. I love that movie.
We should
All
watch. We should go watch Long Legs, Danny.
Yeah,
in
that
theaters.
too.
I've been hearing a lot of mixed things.
I have too, but
Yeah.
I hear it's very disturbing and off-putting too. So I kind of want to feel that way in
No.
a theater.
All right. Did you watch it?
I didn't watch anything.
Okay.
I
I didn't really either. Just been watching shows with Shannon.
Yeah, just shows for sure.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take an off week in 2 weeks from now because I'll be visiting Rob and not around all my studio stuff. So we're going to take a week off. I mean, we do it every other week. So now technically we'll be, I guess, taking 4 weeks off, whatever that amounts to. I haven't looked at the calendar, but we're skipping an episode. But then we'll be back at you. And we haven't fully decided on what we're covering yet. So it'll be a surprise.
You post it before. Post it maybe a week before or something.
We'll see.
I guess I did watch a lot. So Luke Trail, hashtag Chad gets the act. I thought Imaginary was good.
Okay, I haven't watched it.
Lots of people didn't like it. I thought Imaginary was good. Don't Look Away. It's an Australian movie it's like It Follows, but good. There's like this evil mannequin, and every time you look away, it can move. Really good. Underrated. Really good movie. And the new one, it's either on Shudder or Peacock. The tarot card movie.
Oh, yeah. Is it good?
Yep, thought it was very good. Just like a fun, whatever. Just good effects, good scares, and interesting story and lore. So all those were good. You can't go wrong with any of those.
Okay.
Don't Look Away. I'm looking at it right now. Nice.
It's just that this creepy. It's like such a weird premise. The acting is okay. It's either I think it's New Zealand. But yeah. So there's like this evil mannequin. I mean, and it just butchers the shit out of people. But when you're staring at it, it can't move. But as soon as you look away, it's cool. So like the way that they shot it and filmed, it's really cool. It's really fun.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm looking at a preview right now. Let's check it out. Sweet.
All right. Well, cool, guys. So we'll catch you in like a few weeks here for a surprise. We'll see what we cover. But thanks for joining us. Oh, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts if you think about it. I'm trying to get that going again.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. All right. Yep. We'll catch you next time.
Love you guys.
Laters.
See ya.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.